Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Good Screen. I'm Russell.
I'm Lauren.
And today we have another exciting episode for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's episode number 40.
40.
And I think we got to start making plans for that big 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we were just going to watch the Minions 2.
Well, we are.
Or the Minions, period.
1.
Yeah.
We are. I think we got to start
What if we
making...
watch them all out of order?
No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, so 53 weeks in a year?
52.
It wasn't a leap year last year, right?
No,
No.
Election years are leap years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the next one's 2024.
Okay, well, 52
Yeah.
weeks in a year, so at 52 we should have something planned, so
Mm-hmm.
we'll do, I'll think of something. Anyway, welcome back to the 40th episode of The Good Screen.
Mm-hmm.
We watched a movie.
Yeah, we did.
Just a fair warning, this might be the most negative, at least for me.
Yeah, me too.
It might be the most negative review that we've done on the show. So before we get that started, Lauren, do you have anything to add to what you've been watching on the Good Screen? Anything good?
I played some more Ryza last week. I haven't gotten the time to over the last few days, but at the beginning of the week, I was playing a lot of Ryza.
Yeah? You were sick last week.
Yeah, also I was sick.
Yeah. Still getting over it.
Yeah, pretty much. I got all the gunk off my nose.
Oh, that's good. She was blowing her nose a lot.
Yeah, my nose was all scabby from blowing it. Yeah, I'm feeling better. While I was sick, I watched some true crime stuff as well.
Yep. Oh, deja vu.
Woo. And played some Ryza, and that was about it. I didn't really do much else on the Good Screen this week. I also watched some video essays.
About what?
I guess. Well, I watched the one video, cosplay making video.
Oh, yeah.
That was like an hour long. And then I also watched an hour some long video from Jaden Animation about ranking all of the Gen 5 Sitting Cuties Pokemon plushies, because the Pokemon Company sent her all of them.
Wow.
And that was very, very entertaining. She's also going to be doing Gens 1 and 2 eventually, so I'll be watching that.
It must be awesome to be like a professional child.
Right?
Like adult child.
That's what I want to do when I grow up.
Okay, well. Okay. You all right?
No. My brain hurts.
Okay. Can I talk about what I've been enjoying? Are you good?
No, you cannot.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys later.
No, you can go ahead.
I told everyone that I would have something to bring.
Did you?
Last week, yes.
Did you lie?
I did not lie. I came through.
Okay.
I've been watching an anime.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Mix, a Meisei story.
A what?
It's about baseball.
Oh.
Is
Meisei baseball?
Meisei is the town where it's based in, the high school. Yeah, so I was like, I'm going to watch an anime, and I'll find something like shorter, and I'll watch it, and I'll just talk about it on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I open up Crunchyroll, and it's like on the first line. The second season just started. The first season was from 2019, and it was still ongoing. Like, it's based off a manga.
Okay.
And it's still ongoing. So they took a break, and then, of course, COVID and everything.
Yeah.
And now season 2 is coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So the story of it is it's a sequel, like a really light sequel to another manga the same guy did, who's like known for, like, he just makes baseball mangas.
Wow.
Mangas.
Nice.
Mangoes.
Mango.
It's a sequel to another one called Touch. But, like, it's weird how they do it. So it centers around a family, like a baseball loving family.
Okay.
Which sounds great, but it's really bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a mixed family. Like,
okay.
it's the mom of the one kid. All right, I'll just say the pitcher, his mom died, and the catcher, his dad died.
Mm-hmm.
And the mom who died was a really good softball player, and the dad who died was like a legendary pitcher.
Okay.
Which is weird because the catcher is the guy who had his mom die.
Okay.
So basically, it's a family that's mixed together.
So, like, their parents married each other?
Their parents married each other, yeah.
Okay.
So it's like second marriage, but not divorce. You know how I'm like, I would only like date a woman, or not date a woman, but like, this sounds really like selective. But you know how I say like, I'd be okay with dating a woman who had a child if like the dad died.
Yeah.
Because that means that like she holds you in pretty high regard and she's not like trying to get back at anyone.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened here.
That's
but
vindictive.
like double. It is vindictive and it's kind of weird to say, but like yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like it starts when they're in middle school, like their last year of middle school, and they have a sister.
Okay.
And the sister's on the side of the family where the dad died. And she really likes baseball too.
Okay.
And I'm really worried that the one who isn't blood related to her is gonna like kiss her. I'm really worried about that. Like I've watched almost the entire. It's 24 episodes. I almost watched the entire thing.
Yeah.
And I'm really worried it's gonna end with a kiss.
Hmm.
And if it does, I think I'm gonna drop it.
Okay.
Because I don't like her.
Yeah.
She's too good.
Hmm.
But anyway, so it centers around these two boys who are like baseball prodigies, like the best catcher and the best pitcher. And it's kind of like, I don't really like any of the characters except for the dad.
That's alive?
That's alive. Yeah, like the biological dad, who also played baseball. But the problem is, like, I don't know any of the characters from the original. So they keep bringing up, like, names and, like, doing, like, music and, like, oh, that looks just like so-and-so. And it's like, yeah, that's his dead dad. But, like, it feels so anticlimactic to have, like, the best characters from the original series just be dead. Or, like, not be around anymore.
Yeah.
So it did lead me down a rabbit hole on Crunchyroll because once you start watching something, they recommend similar things. There are a lot of baseball animes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think I might try out another one once I'm done with this.
Okay.
Or start reading or watching Touch. But Touch is 150 episodes.
Oh, God.
And according to one guy on my anime list, Touch is way better. It also doesn't center around like a mixed family like that, and it's not just like sibling drama.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
So it's pretty, like, the animation and the art style is really nice. It looks just like the manga artist has a very distinct style. Mm-hmm. But then you realize that all of his anime adaptations kind of look the same. Mm-hmm. And all of his male characters look the same. So I don't know, like, I don't know what's going on with this guy, but yeah.
Okay.
Mix Amase's story. It's an anime about baseball.
Yeah, you said that already.
Yeah. Also, the rules are kind of, not like rules, but like how they do it, like the games are a little weird. Like, he winds up pitching all 9 innings in like every game. That's not normal, like, right?
No.
Like, that's not for a child.
No, that sounds like a good way to ensure injury.
They bring it up in like one of the later episodes, but like they hardly win a game because they had to bench him for the day because they want to give him a day to rest before like the semifinals in the tournament. Mm-hmm. I don't know. So that's pretty much it. I also finished watching the first part of Spy Family.
Okay.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
The second part starts a little crazier.
I haven't started the second part yet.
Yeah, it starts pretty crazy and then it goes back to kind of being about like nothing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
That's about it. And I've still been playing Super Mario Picross and Zelda.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's about all I have to say.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else we want to talk about before we talk about this movie?
Not really.
No?
No.
Okay.
Should there be?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was just wondering. I was just being polite.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that was it.
We have no other comments or anything on our last episode. I figured that would happen.
Okay.
Because there's not much to say about The Big Lebowski. And
yeah,
it's kind of out of our... I don't want to say it's out of our viewer recommendations, but yeah.
It's not current pop culture.
Yeah. So now we're going on another week of what Lauren picked. So let's go ahead and start talking about our main event, which is Beau Is Afraid. So Lauren, there really wasn't a lot of research to be done about this movie. I looked it up and it was just like the Wikipedia is just like, yeah, this is a movie by Ari Aster. Mm-hmm. And here's the whole plot. Mm-hmm. And it's
was it like 10 pages long?
It was pretty long, and it's getting generally favorable reviews.
Although don't know how.
Somewhat it's favorable, I should say.
Okay.
It has like a 60-something on Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic. After seeing the movie, I immediately went on, not immediately, like the next day I went online just to make sure I wasn't crazy, because you're a fan of this guy's movies.
Yeah, I like Ari Aster's other movies, specifically Hereditary and Midsommar.
Is it Midsummer or Midsommar?
I think it's the same difference.
Okay.
It's spelled Midsommar.
Well, just because it's spelled like that doesn't mean you say it like that.
Okay, well, I don't know.
Do they say it like in the movie? I guess this is Midsummer.
No, they don't. I don't remember if they say it or not.
Okay.
But also, they're in like
Sweden. Those are actually like scary, kind of like dark comedy movies.
Yes.
Like actual horror movies.
Lots of symbolism.
Yeah.
And foreshadowing in both of them, very heavily.
And a lot of body horror. Like pretty. This movie.
Not really. I mean, the one scene at the end where the guy falls from the.
Well, the one guy has like his lungs pulled out of his body.
Oh, are you talking about in Midsommar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot more than that. But yeah, comparatively, there wasn't as much body horror in this movie.
There was none.
Which, well, at the end, when they threw like the lawyer off his ledge or whatever, and he splatted on the rock.
Yeah, but that's like funny.
Yeah, that's about as extensive as it got. Which there was a similar scene in Midsommar too.
Okay.
But I had heard ahead of time looking online that like this movie wasn't like the other Ari Aster movies that's come out so far. It wasn't as scary. It was more like psychological.
Yeah. I got an ad that said this was a funny movie.
I wouldn't describe this movie as funny.
No,
not
at all.
I wouldn't describe it as funny at all.
No. There were some points that were like funny, but like also kind of like
in a weird way.
What is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie.
I think this guy's in his own head too much. From my first impression, I don't want to watch his other movies then.
No, the other ones are good. Please.
I don't want to watch them now.
No, Russell, they're totally different.
Yeah, well,
they're so different. That's why I was so like I don't know.
Surprised.
Surprised, I guess. Yeah, by this movie because I was like, this doesn't feel like an Ari Aster movie. This feels like a stupid movie.
This felt like, and I did do a little research. This was based off of a short film that he did at one point.
Okay, and then he made
it was just called Beau.
He made it 3 hours long.
Oh yeah. Also, this movie is very long.
We didn't know how long it was before we went in to see it.
Yeah, I thought since it was a regular movie guy, like a director, I was like, okay, this will be 90 minutes, maybe a little longer.
Yeah,
maybe
that's what his other ones are.
Yeah,
but yeah, it just kept going. Like
it was too long.
Yeah, it was too long. Not even it was too long in the sense that it felt like it just kept going for no reason. Like there was no reason for the plot to keep going forward. If there was a plot.
So can I talk about the story a little bit from what I've gathered?
Yeah.
Because we both left the theater. Lauren was like, I don't even know like what to say.
I didn't understand it.
Lauren didn't get it.
No.
And like I think I get it because I think this guy is just a little in his own head.
Yeah.
And this was a little too much like, hey, check this out. Before I go into that, though, I want to say the acting was very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joaquin Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
He was very good in the movie.
I didn't realize it was him until after.
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah.
For what he had to work with, he did a great job.
Yeah.
So the story of this movie is the Odyssey.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, it's working now. I'm sorry, guys. My laptop died for a second.
We might have like lost a bunch of that.
It was still there. It said 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
Yes, it was still going.
Okay, I don't know where. I'm just gonna repeat myself.
Okay.
So, the story of the movie is basically the same as the Odyssey,
which I haven't seen.
Or read.
Which I haven't seen.
So. It's like I just don't even know like what the purpose of the movie was, like what he was getting at.
Right, like I couldn't see any overarching plot. What, you can't even explain what happened.
So I think the whole movie is basically like,
it's very much about trauma.
It's about trauma and mommy issues.
Yeah.
But I also think it's about what it feels like. Like none of it was like real. It was all either a dream or a hallucination, or like how it feels to have like severe anxiety.
Yeah.
And how it feels to confront the person who is giving you the anxiety. His mom was giving him the anxiety.
Yeah.
So, and I guess it's like kind of like exaggerated of what it feels like to have like some sort of like abuse or like gaslighting.
Yeah.
Because everything that happened in this movie was because of his mom. I don't know if you caught on, but like part of me thinks that this movie is like kind of like whatever medicine he was given made him like really trip up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, is this all the side effects from the medicine that he took without water?
But at the same time, there was some external things happening as well. Like I think the only point of the movie, and maybe it was hard to distinguish like what he was imagining and what he wasn't, especially in the beginning of the movie.
Yes.
The beginning of the movie was very like there's like he was living in like this city that was so crime ridden that he could hardly get to his house.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was just him like seeing things for like way over what they were.
I feel like it's probably that. What's the thing where you don't go outside? What's that
like
called?
The Japanese thing?
No,
shut in hermit?
Not a hermit. No, like the mental agoraphobia.
Agoraphobia? It might have been something like that.
Yeah.
So the movie begins with him like living, like going to his psychiatrist and talking about his mom and how he's going to go see his mom in a couple of days. He's going to go on a flight.
Yeah.
And then he goes home and like the city, like there's just people dying in the street and jumping off the building and killing themselves. Mm-hmm. And he runs into his apartment because there's some guy who wants to like, he thinks is going to like stab him or like eat him or something like that. Mm-hmm. And there are so many other things going on at the same time. So he goes to bed and he's getting notes under his door saying to stop the music.
But there's no music
and there's
playing.
no music playing. And this is all after he took that medicine.
Yeah.
And I think that and then when he's about to go to bed, he looks at a picture of some girl that like he had a crush on. You don't know at the time who she is or what she does. And then suddenly he's asleep and he gets a knock on the door and he starts getting these notes under his door about the music. Mm-hmm. And there's no music, and then suddenly after the last one there's like music, crazy music,
blaring music from the apartment
and that part made no sense. There's a subplot in the apartment building about brown recluse spiders in the apartment building, which I guess that is touched upon, but at the same time it doesn't really like add anything to the story. Maybe we're just too okay to like understand this movie.
I don't know.
And then he there's a water shut off, which causes him even more anxiety about taking his medication, because he goes like maybe like 10 minutes without it. And then while he goes out there to get across the street to get water, across the crime-ridden street to get water, his apartment gets raided by all the homeless people, and he gets locked out. So then he goes back in the apartment and he gets told his mom died. And this is after he told his mom that he locked himself out of the apartment.
No, he was about to leave and someone stole his keys out of his apartment, so he's worried about someone breaking in while he's gone. Yeah,
that's right. Basically, he keeps putting himself in situations where it's high anxiety for him, and he's already on this medication. And then turns out, like, later on, he, like, takes a bath, and all this crazy stuff happens, and he gets hit by a car, and he gets brought into this family.
Yeah.
And this family's like, hey, we'll help you. And they're in suburbia. They're outside the city and whatever. So this is the part where I was thinking like, oh my God, this is the Lotus Island or whatever.
Okay.
And they're like normal and they don't want him to leave. This is something that happens like in the great epic poem, The Odyssey.
Okay.
Or, as you said, the thing you haven't seen.
Yeah.
Even though it's technically a poem.
Yeah.
There are like movie adaptations of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. And I was like, oh my gosh. And they're like, they all have like prescription meds or they're addicted to something. And that's what's keeping them all around. And they don't want him to leave. And in the Odyssey, they eat this lotus fruit. And it makes them forget all the bad things that's going on in the world.
There's a similar thing in Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
It's like a casino that they go to and they eat these like... It's just like the food there, like these cookies that they eat when they walk in, and it makes them like not leave.
Yeah. So I mean that makes sense for Percy Jackson because this is a Greek poem. So, and he goes there, and this is the part of the movie where I thought it was going on for too long, like this whole segment. So then eventually, like
because then there's the whole like subplot where they have a son who died in a war.
Yeah.
Against like. I forget the funny name that they gave the country, but it was.
This is the part of the movie where I
Pakistan.
thought he could have tried to make this a TV, like a limited TV series, maybe.
I don't know.
Like it was just going
and
on
there was
for
like
too long.
The daughter.
She was
drinking paint.
So the daughter.
Lives in her brother's shadow.
Yeah, she hated that her parents like kept talking about her dead brother.
Yeah, and then she thinks that he's replacing her dead brother.
Yeah. And then he doesn't want to paint the dead brother's room pink. Yeah. So she drinks paint and kills herself.
Yeah.
And then the mom freaks out and says he's not allowed here anymore.
And they also have like one of the son's like friends from the war living on their property.
And he's crazy.
He's like a feral dog. And so
he has severe PTSD.
Yes.
He's on tons of medicine too.
Yes. And so like a hunting dog, they send him after Beau.
Yeah. And then it goes into this weird, like probably my favorite, if I want to say I had a favorite part of the movie, it'd probably be this part.
No, this part is where I checked out. This part is I was like, when it got into the part where they're doing the play thing, and Beau was having his own psychodynamic play going on in his brain, that's where I checked out because I was like, I stopped paying attention for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is even happening? What is this fucking movie?
Yeah. So this part of the movie I thought would have been pretty cool.
This part would have been totally cool on its own.
On its own. Or maybe as like a short film again.
Yeah.
But basically what I gathered from this part was he was seeing himself in the play because he was imagining a life that he could have had.
Yeah.
And around the same time, I think it was like right after, like during a dream sequence when he like got high with the girl.
Yeah.
Before this, you learn about his like this cruise he went on and this girl he met there. But then you also learn that his mom told him that his dad had a condition where when he climaxed, he died.
Yeah.
And that Beau can't do it either, and his grandfather died the same way.
Yeah.
Beau went his whole life thinking that he couldn't jerk off or come.
Yeah.
Like his whole life was, and that gave him huge anxiety too. So his controlling mother, and whenever he questioned anything, that was all. Later on, he goes to this play in the forest with all the forest fairy people, whatever.
Yeah.
And he sees the life that he could have had if he had sex.
Basically.
and defied his mom, basically. Yeah. And then someone randomly tells him that his dad is still alive during the play. No,
that was his dad.
That was his dad?
Yeah, the guy, the old man that came up to him that had like the comb over. I think that was meant to be his dad.
That wasn't supposed to be his dad.
No, I think it was.
Okay.
Because there was the part where he was saying like he wasn't trying to refer to himself as his dad.
That part, yeah. Like there's so many little pieces of this movie
and it's like, why is he in the forest?
Yeah, that make no sense.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, you see he's trying to do something clever, but like it just doesn't work.
It doesn't add up.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Like for I can't imagine anyone without a fedora understanding this movie.
Is there too much nuance in this movie for us to appreciate it?
I think it was. I think, you know what I think it boils down to?
What?
Nothing. I'm not gonna say it.
What?
It's kind of racist.
Oh, okay, good. Don't then.
This is a Jewish film.
Is this a Jewish film?
This is like.
Is Ari Aster Jewish?
I want to say.
Is Joaquin Phoenix Jewish?
I feel like Ari Aster. It sounds like he might be Jewish.
I'm gonna Google that right now. Why do you think this is a Jewish film?
Because Jewish mothers are super controlling.
Any mother can be controlling. Oh my God.
Is he Jewish?
He was born into a Jewish family.
All right, there we go. So this is a commentary on how controlling Jewish mothers can be.
Okay, I don't think it's about Jewish mothers. Nothing pointed other than knowing that now that Ari Aster, I don't know if he's practicing, but he was born into a Jewish family.
But his mom.
Any mother can be controlling,
I think,
and not be Jewish. This isn't like a Venn diagram.
I think Ari Aster is the one who needs to go to therapy about I don't think this was the outlet that he needed for this story. I don't know what's going on, what he had to go through when he was a kid. I don't
know if saying that it's about a Jewish mother's fair.
So
okay, anyways.
So he goes to the forest, and then of course the crazy military guy kills everyone in the forest, and he eventually gets home. And I thought this is where the movie was going to end.
He goes back to his mom's because he was told this thing, like his mom can't be buried unless he's there.
Yeah.
And so this whole time he's just super stressed about getting back to his mom's house.
Yeah.
So that she can be buried. Like, he's trying to do that this whole time.
Yeah.
And keeps getting like...
That's the Odyssey.
Keeps getting
he's trying
like
to go
waylaid.
home.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like in the Odyssey.
Maybe this is just the Odyssey.
The whole trip, he's trying to go home.
Odyssey told through a mentally ill man.
And the naked guy with the knife, that's the Cyclops.
Oh.
You're not clever, Ari Aster. I'm not watching any of your fucking movies and pretend.
No, the other ones are so good, please. Please, the other ones are good.
No, so...
I guess this one is just the Odyssey.
It's just the Odyssey with mommy issues. So he goes home, and the funeral's over, and there are a bunch of people there, and then they leave, and he sees his mom's body without a head.
Yeah, it's very...
And the chandelier's gone.
There's like a plaque in the ground where the chandelier hit the ground.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Very strange. And then the girl that he met on the cruise.
On the cruise, it turns out she worked for her mom.
She worked for his mom. Well, you find out shortly before that the dude that, I forget his name, the husband of that family, also worked for his mom because he was on those posters.
Oh, was he?
The surgeon, yeah. So he's starting to realize that his mom is lying to him.
I didn't see that. I saw that the therapist was there. Also, did you notice at the start of the movie, like when the credits and stuff were starting, like that MW thing showed up or whatever that was?
Yeah, that's his mom's logo.
Mom. Yeah,
because she had this huge business. And
it showed before the movie like started, like as if it was like a credit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
which I thought was interesting. You also see the logo like everywhere if you pay attention.
Tyler's calling me.
Oh.
I'll call him back.
Okay.
Yeah, so she, like, on his microwave meal. I thought it meant microwave.
What?
Because the first time I saw it was for the microwave meal he ate. So,
well, it was also on his pill bottle.
Yeah.
And and then you come to find out he's basically been a lab rat his whole life.
Yeah, if anything, I think he's, like, all the stuff he's seeing is just side effects from, like, stuff that his mom was pushing him to take all his life.
Because, like, on a wall in her house, there's, like, this huge display where Beau is featured in pretty much all these advertisements
about
like,
narcotics.
Medications. Yeah. And, like, him being, like, an advocate for them. Yeah. So he was, like, forced to take these pills, I'm assuming.
Right. Yeah, because of his crazy fucking Jewish mom.
No, I don't know if it is specifically about Judaism. I don't know.
I don't think it's about Judaism. I think it's
Jewish
just about like
mothers.
The stereotype of Jewish mothers.
Well, I didn't even know that stereotype. So
yeah,
is it really?
I guess I don't know. I'm gonna look it up and I'll link an article to make sure that everyone doesn't think I'm racist.
Oh my god. Okay.
So he meets up with the girl that also happens to work for his mom. And they have sex, and he doesn't die. I thought he was going to die.
But she dies.
She dies on top of him.
Yeah. Well, he, like, busts through the condom.
Yeah.
He busts the nuts so hard, it shoots through the condom.
Wow.
And she gets filled with his ooze.
And
then she dies.
So,
which, there's no explanation for that.
No explanation for that either. I thought the movie was going to end, like, blank there. And I would have been a little more okay with the ending there.
Yeah, but then it just kept going.
It kept going. His mom wasn't fucking dead.
His mom walks in the room.
His mom watched that.
Yeah.
And his mom walks in the room.
And has, like, her maids carry her body out.
And she's like, this is why you should always obey me. I knew you were lying.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of the themes of the movie were about guilt as well.
Yeah.
Like, he was made to feel guilty about not doing what his mom said.
Yeah.
So he felt so guilty that he couldn't go to see his mom before she faked her death.
Yeah.
And his mom knew that he would feel guilty, very controlling.
Yeah.
So she planned all this shit. Everything that happened was like a subordinate of her, like having him go.
Like it was a big punishment.
It was a punishment for him, and now that he like realized that she was lying about everything because he came and he lived, he kind of like talked back a little bit, if you would even call it that.
He tried to stand up for himself.
He stood up for himself, yeah. And then his mom was like, "Okay, let's go up in the attic." And this is the strangest part of this part of the movie is where I checked out.
Yeah.
He goes up into the attic, and previously there was another weird flashback of he was in a tub and it looked like him, and his mom was taking him up into the attic.
Well, I thought this was going to turn into some sort of subplot where he had a twin or something this whole time.
That is his
and
twin.
Didn't know it.
That was his twin.
It was a twin.
That guy up there was his twin.
Okay, so that was that.
That
I
wasn't
thought
like
it was
a transformation.
more of a metaphorical.
I thought it was
thing.
a metaphorical thing too, but no, that was
no.
his
At
twin.
first, I did think it was a twin. Then I was like, "Is this a metaphor?" And then you see it up there, and I'm like, "I still don't understand."
So not only did he have a twin, obviously, like that, his dad had sex twice.
Yeah.
But then it turns out that his dad, according to the movie, is just a giant penis monster.
Yeah.
Like, you can't make this shit up. Like this is the weirdest, like, it didn't make any sense. There was no, like, this isn't like a horror movie where there's a monster or like some sort of like ghouly thing.
Or it was a dream the whole time.
Or it was like, this is the part where you're like, okay, this guy is clearly dreaming all of this and it's going out of control. It just doesn't like make sense to me for that to be like the big reveal. I thought maybe like the brother would be the reveal, and then like suddenly there's a big penis monster.
Yeah.
And then like what was that supposed to be? Because the army guy burst in the room and like exploded it. Like from the attic. Like he burst through the window and killed the penis.
Did he kill it? No, the penis killed him. Remember, it stabbed him in the brain.
Oh yeah, the penis killed him. And
he tried like stabbing the balls and like
Yeah.
shooting it, but then it had arms.
Yeah.
And it stabbed him.
So this is where I checked out. This is where I was like,
Yeah.
I'm never letting
this was
Lauren
another
recommend
point where I was
another
very
movie.
lost. No, please stop. The other Ari Aster films are so good. I promise. I promise.
So, and then he strangles his mom, and assumingly she's dead.
Well, no, she strangles him.
He
strangles her. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But then he stops. Like, he has this moment of like blind rage, and he strangles her.
Understandably, at this point.
And then he stops, and he's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." Yeah.
And then he goes on a boat.
Yeah, and then it transitioned to some sort of like court.
Yeah.
Like he is put in this boat and wheeled into this court where he's in like the middle in this pond, and there's like an audience surrounding him. His mom has a big lawyer, and they're both very loud, and he has his own lawyer, but he's like smaller and quiet. And so his lawyer keeps trying to make points to stand up for himself, but his mom's lawyer is like gaslighting him the whole time.
Yeah.
And
then the boat flips over and he dies. The end.
Yeah, so it's like the mom's lawyer like finds him guilty of all these crimes basically, and then like explodes him, and he dies a really horrific death.
Yeah, and the boat he's on like collapses and he drowns.
Yeah, it like flips, and he's like tied to the boat.
He's glued to it.
Yeah.
And that's how the movie ends. There's no like.
Yeah, and then it fades into the credits, and everyone was still sitting there like watching.
And I was like, "There's no way."
I was like, is something gonna happen?
No.
Like, what happened?
Nothing happened. I looked it up. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened? Okay.
No. I was so pissed that people were staying there. I was like, there's no way.
Well, I think everyone else was just like,
what the fuck am I watching?
Not even knowing if it was over.
Yeah. It just felt too art house for me.
Yeah, this should have stayed at like the Sundance Awards.
Yeah.
The Sundance Festival. It shouldn't have made it outside of that.
Yeah, this is like, I guess if you like movies.
If you like really deep movies that are 3 hours long, that you need to watch 5 times in order to understand, and also read all of the Odyssey, you would like this movie.
I mean, usually reading the Odyssey is done in high school.
We've read the Iliad.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that one's harder.
Yeah.
That one's boringer. I love the Odyssey.
I don't remember it.
I love the Odyssey so much.
Yeah.
It's such a good story.
Now I wish I'd read the Odyssey.
It's like a and that's why I was like, oh my god,
I read Percy Jackson.
That doesn't count.
I still read Percy Jackson.
That's why I was like, this. He thinks he's like. That's why I said like when we got out of the theater, I was like, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
I get.
If I had known of the Odyssey, I might have gotten it. I might have picked up on that, but no. I obviously did not.
Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much all I had to say about it.
Yeah.
Not to get too much into it. Like, we spoiled the whole movie pretty much.
We did go pretty like point for point, but there's no way to talk about it without doing that.
Yeah, like
this movie is so convoluted and complex for like next to no reason. There are simpler ways to tell the Odyssey in an interesting, horrific way. There are other ways to do it. I don't think this was the way to go about it. No. It was such a strange like way to tell a story too, especially that the part where like he just ran like the play. That was about 30 minutes of the movie. Yeah, that was the part
Yeah.
where I was like, how fucking long is this movie?
Yeah, I had no clue.
I looked at my phone and it was like 10 o'clock and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I also want to point out, this is the first movie I've ever been to where I saw someone walk out of it.
Yeah.
It was really close to the end, so.
Yeah, I guess they were like.
But they were done.
Well, the movie started at 7:30.
Yeah.
And then I looked at my phone and it was 10 o'clock and I was like.
It was 11 by the time we got out.
I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so, like, this movie is as long as Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
If you want to put it in with another movie.
And it's not much better.
No, and it doesn't move, like, people complain about that movie having, like, pacing problems. This one.
Oh my god, this one has
like, you don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What did you think? So, would you say this is good screen, Lauren?
No.
No.
First bad screen.
First bad screen ever.
Maybe the only one ever.
If you get this, maybe you should listen to another podcast where they talk about, like, movies and in detail and how
I don't know.
And how this is actually highbrow art.
If you liked this movie, I'm interested to know what other movies are your favorites, because I feel like this would say a lot about you as a person.
Yeah.
If you can relate to this movie, I think you should get help.
Yes. This is, if anything I learned from this movie is, or if there's a message that he was trying to get across, it's that you shouldn't take a ton of medications to fix your problems, and you should confront them head on.
Well, that got him killed.
Well, it was too late.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Seek professional help.
Well, even when he did, it turns out he was, because one of his fears, I guess, must have been that his therapist was telling his mom everything, because that is what ended up happening.
That's what happened, yeah. Oh, yeah, by the way, his therapist was working for his mom, too.
Yeah.
And she gave him all of his transcripts or whatever.
Yeah, he gave her all the recordings.
Like, they're, like, I don't know. Not a great movie. Horribly told.
Too
long. Too long. It used elements of, like, very familiar and high school level storytelling to tell a very disjointed story about something very, very small, which is mommy issues.
Yeah. There's other more creative ways to go about mommy issue movies.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm done talking about that.
There's not even anything else to say.
I'm going to pick a great movie for us to watch next week.
Okay.
Something a little different.
I hope so.
I'd like to watch well, let's just duke it out now. Do you want to watch a funny movie?
Well, I'm half tempted to show you an actually good Ari Aster movie.
I don't want to. I think I'm done with him.
No, please.
No.
Give Midsommar a chance.
No, I think I'm done with him.
It's like my favorite movie ever.
No. I want to watch a funny movie.
One of these days.
An actually funny. I can't believe an advertisement told me that this was a really funny movie. Like that was like
sick.
That
Whoever
was like
made
the
that
line.
advertisement is sick.
Yeah. Do you want to watch something funny, like more for kids again? Do you want to watch something mysterious? Do you want to watch something sports related? Do you want to watch something? So you don't want to watch Skyward recommended Benchwarmers.
I did see that.
I would be okay with watching that again. It's funny.
Okay.
It's also like early 2000s humor though, so
yeah,
might not hold
cringe.
up. I thought we were just.
Speaking of yesterday, I was with one of the youth that I look after, and we were off campus, and we were watching Family Guy.
Okay.
And I just cringed so hard. It reaffirmed my hate for Family Guy.
Was it early Family Guy or later?
I don't fucking know.
Early Family Guy is really funny.
It was bad. It was really bad.
Was she laughing?
Yes. I don't think she knows any better though.
Okay.
She's 16.
All right. We'll figure it out. We'll find a movie, but I think this is going to be one that I recommend. You recommended The Big Lebowski, which I thought was good. Mm-hmm. I'd like to watch that again, but not like for the podcast, obviously. Well, I don't want to see a new movie.
No.
Although this would be, we have the weeks like where we could go see a movie completely wrong.
What's the other one we wanted to see that's in the theaters
right now?
Yes.
Oh, Renfield.
I
wish we went to go see that.
Yeah, I feel like there's another one.
Even The Evil Dead Rise. Even though
that was it. Yeah.
People don't like, and I understand. Like Evil Dead was based off of the main character Ash Williams, of course.
Yeah. Ashley. I love him.
Yeah. And then
we're gonna name our first son
2012 or 2013 remake didn't have Ash. His voice was at the end.
Yeah.
And this one doesn't have him either. It's also not in a cabin in the woods.
I would consider it a retelling now instead.
I heard it's good though. Like,
yeah.
And it's actually scary. Unlike the old Evil Deads. But
the old Evil Deads.
I actually liked the remake for what it was, because it still had the crazy demon ghoul ladies, which I think is like the funniest shit ever.
Yeah.
And it actually scares me.
Yeah.
It makes you go, whoa! I see a strange lady's face, jump scare, clanging from the basement. Gets me every time.
Wow.
So I would have rather saw that, even though Ash isn't in it, and I'm sure fans of The Evil Dead aren't gonna like it. I would have rather saw that or Renfield for sure. Even the Nike movie.
Oh God.
The Air Jordan movie. Air.
Yeah.
I think it's just called Air.
Let's watch Lyle Lyle Crocodile.
Is that like streaming somewhere now?
I think it's on Netflix.
Okay.
Let's watch Paddington 2.
No, it's too early for Paddington 2. All right. Well, we'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. We thought we would have a conclusion.
No,
We want to start, again, I think we brought this up before on the podcast. We want to start doing, instead of like how we did with John Wick, where we just like led into John Wick 4 and we did a month and it got really tiresome. We want to do like bonus episodes of series. And I want to start personally. I wanted to start with Transformers.
Oh.
But Lauren wanted to start with something shorter, like less movies.
Yeah, Transformers has like 8 movies.
There are 6. Actually, yeah, there are 6. Because there's the Bumblebee movie too.
Okay, well, yeah, like 8 movies.
So then maybe that one's not the best to start with.
Something that's like a trilogy.
Yeah.
That's not Lord of the Rings, because that's like 10 hours.
Yeah. We could like keep it really simple and just do like Star Wars.
No.
No?
No.
The originals?
We'll get too much hate.
What?
Either way. If we say
Why?
it's good or if it's bad.
I would say it's good. Like, I know it's good.
I'd say all of them are bad.
Oh.
Well, the ones with I like the prequels.
You're weird. I like 1 or 2 of the prequels, but only
I think
one.
the prequels are funny.
Okay. I think, yeah, so we want to do like bonus episodes for things that are series. Like, we could do like all the Avengers movies too. Lauren is just so sick of hearing about Disney and Marvel movies. Or like The Matrix.
Yeah, we need to do The Matrix eventually.
Yeah.
I'm really hungry.
Yeah, me too. I hardly ate anything.
I thought you were going to make pancakes.
I thought I was too. I'm sorry.
Disappointed! Should we watch Braveheart?
That's not from Braveheart.
What is it from?
That's from Hercules.
Let's watch Hercules.
I think God, what? Let us know what you think our first bonus series episode should be.
It has to be like 3 movies.
At least 3 movies.
No, 3 movies tops.
2 movies is fine too.
Yes. A duology.
And let us know. I don't think we're gonna like paywall them or anything, because obviously like
we don't have paywalls.
We don't have an audience anyway.
We don't have a huge audience.
But we would like to have like at least like I would. I don't know about you, Lauren.
What?
Sometimes I think you're just here for the ride.
What?
I'm
like, your audience?
No. Like I'm the mastermind behind like what we do.
Oh yeah, no, I would agree with that.
Yeah,
this is your podcast. I'm just here.
Yeah. I would like to do at least like 1 of those a month, but like film them while we're sitting down like right now.
Yeah.
And then we'll have like something nice, and maybe if like we get like a lot of people watching and like people start asking for like Patreon stuff. This is like in my perfect world.
Yeah. Well,
maybe
I work too much to do that.
Yeah. So
I'm in the middle of working a day straight right now.
Yeah. All right. We had to start staggering the schedule so that we record on the nights that you're off in the week when you have like a week like this.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Lauren, what is your screenless shout out? We're talking too much shop.
Oh my God. My screenless shout out.
It can't be health related. I feel like that's been your cop out the last like 3 times.
Days that make sense.
Days that make sense?
Days that make sense. Yesterday was a bad day. It made no sense.
It was Earth Day.
It didn't feel like Earth Day. The Earth treated me poorly.
You're talking too quiet.
The earth treated me poorly.
Okay. All right.
I didn't appreciate yesterday.
Well, you know what? Sometimes there are just bad days.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a rough week, I think, at work.
God, I'm not looking forward to my shift today. I'm recording this before I go to work. I'm leaving for work in like
soon.
45 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
I have real bad anxiety about today.
Well, don't do what Beau did. What?
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. What would Beau do?
What would Beau do?
All right, my screenless shout out is the girl who rung up my order at the van store yesterday.
Yeah.
So Lauren had this coupon for $25 off of Van shoes, which makes them the price that I remember them being last time I bought Van shoes.
Yeah.
And which is like $55. And I go up to the girl and I'm like, I have wide feet, so they don't carry the wide shoes in the store. They still don't.
Yeah.
And I go up to this girl and I'm like, hey, I want these shoes, but I need the wide ones, so we're gonna have to do it on the iPad. Because I did that before because I wanted to try them out. Like I got slip-ons for like at home.
Yeah.
And we did the whole thing. She's like, oops, I forgot to put in the coupon.
Yeah.
And then my Apple card got like charged $80. And I was like, all right, you know what? Never mind. That's fine. You know, whatever. I'll just pay $80. Whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever.
And she was like, no, I have to fix this.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to make this right for you. So she got a manager to come over, and the manager was like, well, we can't refund through an online order. They can't do that, I guess. Mm-hmm. So she's like, all right, I'll just ring up a pair of shoes that we have here and then refund them. And you can give him the $25. But it has to be cash. I feel like someone in Van's like upper management's going to hear this and be like, that wasn't protocol. But
probably not, but it's what they could do in the situation. I ran into similar things when like at Starbucks, if somebody ordered something using their stars and they wanted a refund on it, it's like I can't give you the stars back, but I can give you like in-store credit. Yeah. So she was like, this isn't really like a thing, but like this is like how we make the customer happy. And I was like, well, I appreciate like that was the manager, and I appreciate everything. And the best part about it is I used my Apple card with Apple Pay. Yeah. So I think with Apple Pay. So I got like the percentages back for $80, even though I got $25 back. Nice.
So
gains.
Yeah. So then I got a survey. She's like, there's a survey. And she said not a lot of people do the survey.
I did the survey.
Well, you got to keep doing the survey.
I know. They'll give you free shoes.
Yeah. And
I keep looking at my email to see if I won the survey from last time when I bought my flower pair, because I filled the survey out because the dude that helped me was the manager. His name was like Matt or something like that.
Matt, I think that guy was there the time I went. It was only a couple weeks apart. We don't go to get shoes.
No, we don't buy shoes very often. Yeah. This is circumstantial. But so I went and I filled out the survey while we were looking in the next store, and then I went back and I told him like, hey, I filled out the survey. Give me some free shoes, please.
You went back?
Yeah, well, we were in the store like across. It's like Windsor or something.
Oh, you were with Lila.
Yeah, I was with Lila.
Okay.
And so when we were walking out, like I just poked my head in because he was right there. I was like, hey, I just filled out the survey, just so you know. Wink, wink.
I don't think he controls it.
No, he said he's the one who picks them.
Oh.
And so I even mentioned in my survey like which pair of shoes that I bought, because he helped me.
Maybe it's for the month.
Maybe.
Was that in April?
I don't.
Probably.
Yes. So
I feel like if I did the survey, I haven't done it yet, I would get it.
Wow.
Based off of my experience.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Although I would admit that they rung it up wrong in the survey.
Yeah, I put that. Like he was super helpful, and he explained everything to me, and he gave me other shoes to try on.
Does it say who was your cashier on the survey?
There's like a thing that you put in where it's like your receipt number.
Oh, okay.
And stuff like that, so they could probably look to see who rung you up.
But
I also specifically said who, because it was the manager that rung me up.
Okay.
I specifically said, I think it says the name on the receipt too.
Okay, good.
I specifically said that he helped me, and with which pair of shoes that I bought, so that he would remember.
I feel like she was Erica. I feel like her name was Erica. But anyway, so I'm gonna do the survey, and we'll have to compete for like who's doing the survey.
I already did it.
I told her
We're gonna see who wins.
She was so like apologizing about it, and it was probably super embarrassing for her.
Well, this stuff happens.
Yeah, and I was like, that's okay. I told the manager, I was like, I don't really mind. This is something that I would do if I still worked retail.
Yeah.
I totally get it. And I was like, don't worry, I'll do like all 10s on the survey or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what it looks like.
It's pretty much all 10s.
Yeah. And she was like, oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, so
yeah.
That was a strange experience at the store. But, of course, nothing too out of the ordinary for me.
Okay.
So that's why screenless shout-out is...
that whole
I'm
experience?
just going to call her Erica at the van store. Even though
is she the one with the black hair?
She did have black hair.
She kind of looks like an Erica.
Right? Like,
yeah.
you kind of see that.
She's Erica now.
I'm going to write on my survey that I talked about her on my podcast. I had such a positive experience. Or it would have been a negative experience, but it turned out into a positive one.
Well, it sounds like it would have been a whatever experience.
Yeah. That it was so good
Just
that
life.
I decided to talk about it on my podcast that gets like 12 viewers. And then I'll link up my podcast.
Oh,
so they
please don't do
so
that.
So they can hear me being a little anti-Semitic.
No.
And
no.
I don't think I'm too far off from like a commentary on Jewish families.
We're gonna have to wait to see what actual critics say.
I have to link something to the podcast or like tweet underneath it saying, "Hey, here's confirmation that it was actually I was right and it actually was about Jewish moms."
We're gonna get canceled.
I don't think we're gonna get canceled.
Someone's gonna cancel us.
No, I don't think what I said was racist either. I just think that it seemed like it was about like the stereotype or like how controlling they can be. Although all moms could be like that. You're right.
Hashtag
but it
was
pretty funny that it turned out that he was born into a Jewish family.
Yeah.
Probably not practicing.
I don't know. It didn't say.
Well, we need to get him on this podcast after he ripped his movie apart.
We need to watch other movies so that you can see what he actually does.
Okay. All right. Well,
I wonder if Joaquin Phoenix had any input.
He probably liked it.
I mean, I would hope so. He was in it.
Yeah, he probably liked it.
Well, I meant like directive input, like if he helped with any of that, if he was credited with anything.
No,
because this did not feel like an Ari Aster movie.
It said written and directed by Ari Aster. Yeah.
You're gonna watch Hereditary, and you're gonna watch Midsommar.
You're not gonna tell me what to do.
Yes, I am.
You're not my mom.
What if I was?
I would say you're not my mom. I would say you're controlling me.
I'm your mom now.
Just like I would say what Beau didn't have the balls to say.
Eat your vegetables.
And then we'll go jerk off.
Okay, we're going to end the episode now.
That's about all for this week's episode of The Good Screen. If you have any comments on this movie, let us know.
Mm-hmm. Leave a comment on YouTube. Send us an email at goodscreenpod@gmail.com. Send us a tweet at goodscreenpod on Twitter. Rate and review. Give us 5 stars. You know.
Follow me on my anime list, The Good Screen Russ. You'll see what anime I'm watching, and you might see a sneak peek into what I'm going to talk about the next week.
Okay.
If I keep watching shows and stuff.
If you keep updating your My Anime list.
I've been every morning this week.
Have you been going in there like it's a little
when
diary?
I'm done, I've been clicking that plus button.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
I've been watching 3 episodes every morning for work. Yep. All right. Well, that's about all we had to say today.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time when we watch something that hopefully is good.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.